Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're going to get to my about to be 7-year-old blue Jacaranda from seed from the Planter's Choice Bonsai Starter Kit. So I transferred it inside when the weather started dropping below 50 at night, and that's 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And so anyways, the foliage that came indoors isn't so happy anymore, so we're going to remove that. We're going to get this thing repotted, and I believe we're going to have to pick a new front because of all the prunings that it's had since its last repotting. Yeah, so lots to do with the blue Jacaranda, so that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so here it is. As you can tell, over the 7 years, it's caught a bunch of chops, and we have some healthy new growth. But like I was saying, the growth that came in from enjoying the nice fresh air and sun of outdoors for the summer and early autumn, they're no longer happy. So might as well get those ugly leaves off of there and focus on the new growth. So ideally, I liked the sway of the trunk with it planted forward like this, but it had other things in mind because it's now grown a branch coming out the front, and then it kind of continues on forward. Yes, the Stella playground surrounds us, and soon to have a baby boy, so I'm sure there will not be a reduction in craziness around the perimeter of this room. All right, back to the tree. So I'm going to get that nastiness pruned off of there. And it's been at least, I think this would be its 3rd year since I've repotted it. So I've got some nice soil here, good amount, I'd say about 1/3 of pumice, and then maybe 20% perlite, and the rest is peat moss and pine bark, nice and fine. Yeah, a little bit of lava rock thrown in there. You can see the pops of color. Okay, so let's get to it. All right, here we go. If you have to do any of your repotting and pruning indoors, definitely get yourself one of these mats. Put it right over the glass coffee table. And you got a little repotting station. Yep, so I started the Planter's Choice Bonsai Starter Kit from seed, and I was actually in the house before we were here at the ranch. That was when Laura got it for me for Valentine's Day one year, and then I just went all sorts of crazy trying to get every single species germinated from seed. So I have a ton of videos about from 6 years old till now about growing trees from seed. I'll have to dig back in the archives, but they are there. So if you're interested in starting your bonsais from seed and not nursery stock, or buying an established bonsai, you know, I'm going to take out basically any of these leaves that came out while they were outdoors. Yep, I knew it was going to take a lot longer going from seed, but I wanted to do the entire process. And to this day, still seeing trees germinate from seed is like my favorite part of the process. And maybe next, the budding out after a good hard prune. Least favorite is definitely repotting. I don't know, I guess anything that you don't have 100% success at, you know, want to avoid. So I had the Buddha in here. He's got his hiking pack on, ready to rock and roll. A couple of rocks in the background, put down vertically, you know, to simulate little rock ledges and stuff along a rocky hike. and I just top dressed it before with a nice little mix of different lava rocks with different shades. So I'll go ahead and get this out of the pot. I'm assuming it's gonna be nice and tight. Oh yeah. I remember when I put it in this soil that I used actually the starter kit for some chili pepper bonsai. So I figure since this is a Madagascar native, I believe, well, the flame tree is. I don't know if the blue jacaranda is. I know they have them down in Florida a bunch, here in the US. Anyways, I figured it would like that chili pepper soil, and it did. Whew, lots of roots. So she's healthy. You know, for the longest time I thought this tree was a flame tree, the Lonix regia, because they came in the same seed pack, and this grew from a seed that was a blue jacaranda seed. But be that as it may, figured it out much later on that it was a blue jacaranda. Once I started getting flame trees and jacarandas developing, there are some similarities to their leaves, but definitely differences. Like, I know these are old, but you could probably tell. Nope, not on that one. So these come to a point at the end, and on your flame trees, it's like the reciprocal of that. It goes to like a Y at the end, leaving a gap in the center. And sure, there's other ways you could tell, like, you know, getting properly labeled seed packs, but if you grow them together, that's how you could tell. Right. A little screen. Actually, it was a seedling pouch that I just cut in half and used. And there's the second one. So some roots came off with that, but that's fine. We're going to remove some roots anyways. Whew. I always end up just digging with my hands. I do have the tools. So I know it's not spring, and if this was outdoors year-round and it followed our seasons, then I would wait till spring to repot, but I'm taking advantage of the fact that this is an indoor tree more than half the year, and so it's always continuously budding out, actively growing. As you can see, the roots are nice and healthy. So I'm going to do it while I don't have a bunch of other bonsai work. Did one of my older jades the other day, and I have a few Lonix regias and a few more of these actually that I might be able to get to this year. The growth just seemed to slow a little bit on this one, and so I figured it was a bit pop bound. It was about time. Get it some fresh soil. Definitely adjust the front. Probably gonna raise it up a bit in the planting because it looks like we got some really nice thickness to the base of the trunk here. I might lower the roots down a bit. All right, let me get this cleaned up a bit, and then we'll take a closer look. Alright, so I gave the pot a quick rinse. It didn't have much residue or buildup on it, which is pretty awesome considering the jade I did was a mess. It took forever. But thanks to comments from my broskies and broskas, next time I'll use some vinegar, save myself some time. So you can see here, it's getting nice and wide, so I'd like to expose some of that and get rid of some of these higher roots. So I'll just do a lap around, removing the top ones. I am going to do my best to remove as little root as possible, to be honest with you. Some nice stuff right there. This big boy right here is kind of growing upwards, so unless I wanted to make that a feature, which I might do. Maybe I'll raise it to there, and then I'll have that root right on the surface. Growing pretty radially right now. I'm pretty excited about that. But I guess that's more of the pot's doing than mine. Anything growing straight down or relatively wide, I'm just taking it out. Yeah, so growing from seed has been really rewarding, and I'm starting to, really get some trees now, especially if you're doing evergreens from seed, like pines. There's like a 2-year period where they really don't do anything at all. It's just water, repeat. But then all of a sudden they start taking off, and it's like you knew that you were there from the beginning. So I guess that would be the number one thing for me, is the act of actually starting the tree that I could have the rest of my life. I do have some Yamadoris and nursery stock conversions and things like that, but for the most part, I'm a seed guy. All right. That might do it for root work. Get a little closer on that one. There's a couple just naturally growing upwards that they're newish, so they wouldn't add any attractiveness. I hope all that was in the camera. I forget where I angled it. If it wasn't, I guess I'll be cutting it out. So there's a couple with this root that I'm keeping. I'd like to just have that big part of the root be the attractive feature. So I was getting the roots, the little capillary roots coming off the top of it out of there. See, and this is what I do. And I get carried away, and then my tree dies. So it's coming across. Just lay it down flat. Take take a look. Some hanging around the edges. Nipple. Cool. All right, let me zoom back out and we'll continue on here. Oh, forgot my screen. All right, got 2 pieces of cut up window screen here. Put this in there. Get a little base layer of soil. This pot's deceivingly big, so I may have to get more, at least the top dress, we'll see. Let's take a look. Gonna have it there. Come up a bit. Oh yeah, man, you more so. That's even still a little low. So let me get some more soil mixed up, then we'll pick a front and get this thing potted up. Alright, so I didn't have any more of the pumice, but I think this mixture will do fine up top. Alright, that's better. Now, where do we want you to face? It's not bad. But then the root that I like is not there. Not there. Yeah. Alright, so I think I'm gonna make that the front. I like the divide of that, the sway of the trunk, and then I get my decorative root accent in the front as well. Stella is at swim class with Laura, one of the last ones before her due date and the holiday break. And then I'm taking over on Saturdays doing the swim with her. So that should be fun. But she either falls asleep on the way home, which is glorious, or she comes in like a terror. She's really hungry, and I'm already in trouble. Oh, having daughters. Put it off to the side a little bit, or should I put it off to this side a little bit? Get that root. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And I'm gonna need more soil. Alright, so I'm just going to top this off with some more soil, y'all, and I'm going to work the soil into all the roots. No reason to have to watch that. And then I will show you how I'm going to lay out these rocks that I'm adding to the display here. All right, so the crazy 2-year-old has returned home. She's all into the Miss Rachel episode today, so might be able to get this finished with limited harassment.
Have you ever tried a kiwi? I have. They're yummy. Okay, here's the next one. It's frosted and sweet. Here's another kiwi. You have this on your birthday.
All right, I think we're pretty much there.
It's chocolate cake. Yum. Okay, here's the next clue. It's red.
I'm just gonna push around the edge under that lip. That's where I'm going to be putting these stones. The backdrop.
It's an apple. You went in the apple. That's funny. Wow, there's a whole together. Let's go over that one more time.
Whoa, throw in the iPad, people.
Lollipop. Watermelon. Kiwi. Cake.
This is wet my bonsai toothbrush to kind of
Good job.
hit the base of the trunk and the surface roots.
Find something green in your house?
I'm sure when I...
This green dump truck.
Hey, baby.
Dumping out the dirt.
Y'all know Stella.
It's the color green. Good job.
You gotta put the little boot in there.
A fun game.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, so that's how it's
Which ones are the same?
viewed from the front.
Yeah, good job.
Let's see if we can just build a little rocky
Are
ledge
the
here.
same. 2 caterpillars. 1, 2, and they're the same. These
Hey, you
two
put them
are
wherever you want
different.
them.
This one's a
I
horse.
did
and
it.
this
You
one's
did it.
a zebra. Good job.
I did it.
Fun game.
Hey, that's cool. Cool.
It is cool.
Color first?
You gonna be my little bonsai helper?
Yeah. First there was the very
I could
tiny
say, hey
caterpillar.
Stella, you got a water
Then he
today.
turned into a
Yeah.
butterfly.
Yeah.
Good job.
Uh-oh.
Do you see 2 pictures that are the same?
Alright, I'm gonna call this a success, people.
These 2 butterflies are the same. This is a
Another
butterfly and this is a butterfly. These 2 cards are different.
Let's
This
put
is a
him
turtle.
right
And this is a
here.
Sala.
bumblebee.
Sala.
Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, not the soil.
Do any of
Sala.
these
Yeah. You gotta do that root like that. And I'll help you.
Good job. Yeah, there's 2
Alright.
suns. And there's
So what I'm gonna do,
full cats. Great
after I
job.
play with Stella is I'll probably top dress this thing, but I don't have any top dressing right now. So I'm gonna end the video here. And
Let's do the puzzle.
so that's going to do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. I know I did. And time to go on with daddy duties. So for my family to yours, cheers.